All right, Big Randy. Best I could tell, you just wanted to show off. You wanted to show me your action and show me how damn good you are. That, or you must putt and chip like hell. Dude, your action is incredible. I'm just watching a little bit here on fast motion. We kind of lost I can't tell from the down the line. This is a caddy view, and there's so much good stuff happening here. I couldn't tell if you were filmed proper from down the line. It sure looked like you were filmed from straight behind the ball instead of like through your stance line or your hands. But this is caddy view, and we can work from here a little bit. I'm telling you, other than you're just like me. You're barrel chested and stronger than a bull. Look at your arms. Holy smokes. Unless you learn to take a bigger turn and have a little bit more flexibility, I mean, your speed is just about maxed out. That close to being maxed out. I'm telling you, dude, there's so much great stuff happening here. This is big league stuff. You're a good player. I know you are. I can tell. Let's get it back to position. You got a little I guess I need to go to the next one so we can start from there you go. All right. Let's get her going back here. You got a little pump fake to the left. You love forward press the hands a tiny bit. That gets you in a great little impact fix kind of a mind. You set the club with your hands pretty fast. I mean, it looks like it's dead on the plane. It might be sucked inside a little bit. You could create a little bit more width. Like I said, I can't tell from the caddy view. And you're down the line, I'm almost 100% sure somebody shot through your ball. So it looks like you're sucking it inside more than you probably are. But we'll get to that here in a minute. But I think if you had a little bit more width going back and more down the line instead of pulling it back inside, you might find a little bit more room to make a little bit bigger action. But that's going to screw your timing. Really and truly, there's only one thing I see on this golf swing, boss, that you need to really fix. This ball's on the ground. Look at this. Before you finish your backstroke, you make that little bump to the left. You start moving the hips. It's money. Watch this. Look there. You're already starting to work back to the left, and the club hadn't finished yet. That is really good. Watch this. Your club's still going back, and you're starting to turn and burn already. You're moving you got a little bump to your left hip. I mean, dude, it is big time golf swing. It's hard to tell with this crap camera how fast the club runs past your left arm, but this is the only spot where we can get you that much better with your action. I mean, really and truly, Jesus, what do you shoot, dude? I mean, you really have to be a bad putter, chipper, and for you not to have your name on every trophy in your town. The only thing we can work on right here is getting a little less matched up at impact. Your hips are a little square. I'd like to see, and I can see it, we'll see it from down the line a little bit better, but I'd like to have your hips a little further along into the golf swing right here. Your right knee kicking in a little more, and that'll just help you control the face more with your pivot. I mean, I'm not going to say it's an arm-driven swing. 95% of the golf lessons I'm giving here since I've started this and been doing it again, but are all arm-driven golf swings. You got pretty much a pivot-driven golf swing, which is beautiful. You know, you're firing through the hit like crazy, but you kind of shut down back there right at the hit a little bit. The only thing we got to work on is getting your hip a little bit further along than it is right now. And that'll help you control the face more and keep it from running by. This is a bad angle. You know, the ball's barely gone and the shaft flexed and ran past your left arm a lot. And if you can see it there, it's pretty much, I mean, there's some good players in this position. I'm not going to say you can't do it, but it becomes a little bit more of a timing issue. I'd like to see that club. I'd like to see your hands almost right there at impact, out over your left thigh. That's a little further along than they should be, and the club is already gone past your left arm. See that? You stay down. You maintain your spine beautiful. Let's go to the down the line. This stupid thing will make me watch this video. I don't know why it does this. So let's go to the down the line. I mean, you got, let's watch it on just regular time here, a couple balls. Dude, there's so much. I'm super impressed, man. I'm super impressed. You've played some really good golf in your day. I know it. See right here, if I think on this picture right here, it appears like it's sucked inside, and I can't be for sure. If you're filming through here, then it's sucked inside. If the guy who filmed it or your tripod was on the ball, then it might be that much inside. But it looks like you've pulled it inside. When you get on this frame right here, most good players, the club head's gonna hide your hands. So you got to pull back inside. And so the only thing that's going to create really and truly is you could be a little better on your in-between shots, your soft shots. Like if you get stuck and you're hitting a soft 7 instead of a hard 8, then you don't make a big giant full backswing and turn, and so you have the club inside, so you have to reroute it out a little bit to get it back on the ball. And if that club was right here on your lines, then you could just swing it short and you would just be delivering it straight back to the ball and not having to make that club go out to get the sweet spot back over the golf ball. But besides that, you can play this way. Miguel Angel Jimenez, who's a penis, pulls it back a foot inside more than that. You can do it, but it creates timing issues, and I would like to see it. And make sure, send me a touch-up that's filmed through your hands, right through the target. This looks like you're shooting through the ball and left of your target instead of shooting this way down the line through your hands. So it may not be pulled in as much inside as it looks right here. If the camera was over here more, it would look more lined up with your hands. But, I mean, this is money stuff. Look at this. You don't have a big backswing. That's fine. But you've already started moving back to your left foot, and you drop this son of a gun, man. Look at this right here. That right there is a heat-seeking missile. And, again, if the club was over here, the shaft would appear a little bit higher. So, if the camera was back over here, the shaft would appear a little bit higher, which would be not as good as this. But it sure looks like it's lined up beautiful from here. And if this was actually filmed from in here, then just ignore pretty much everything I've said. You're that much under the plane and directly on the plane coming back down. But we can see it right here. The only thing I'm going to work on your golf swing, if I were your guy, that right there. See, now the ball's gone, but the ball's gone this far. And even with the ball gone, I should be seeing way more of your left hip pocket. You're too matched up right there. So your arm swinging the golf club a little bit right here. And by having your pivot shut down, this is your pivot. Everything you spin in your body, that's what I teach to be the motor of the golf swing, and it'll make you way more consistent. When you make this your motor, you'll control the face better than with your hands and arms, okay? Especially when you're nervous. So you're two matched up right here. If you see a good up, even though you maintain your spine, you really don't hunch it very much. I mean, usually the bad players, their hips are going to move closer to the golf ball and they're straightening up. You don't. You maintain your dang side bend pretty good through the hip right there. You're straightening a tiny bit, but you pretty much maintain your spine angle. Dude, I'm just talking. There's nothing to work on except in this golf swing, except that much more on the plane going back. And this right here, this is where we can make you a better player and make you a further hitter for what you got. Let me go out in the garage and show you a couple things real fast. It'll me talking and bending your ear. Hang on. All right, big guy. If I were at a club and you came to me for golf lessons, I mean, this is thievery what I'm doing right here to you, taking your money and doing you this way. I just sent you down the road. I just said, let's go over to the short game. Let's go to the putting green. I can help you get better. I just don't know where. But let me show you exactly what I'm talking about right here. But like I said, this is taking your money. You sent too much already anyway. But if you're filming from here, instead of the camera being over here, then if it goes back on plane like that right there, it's going to appear from over that camera like it's shooting inside your hand. So I can't be 100% on that you're not under the plane a pretty good, a great deal, or just a tiny bit. If the camera's shooting from a good spot, you're just barely under the plane, behind you too much. So from here, you got to have that club go back out to meet the sweet spot instead of coming back down. So if you can make this right here look like that, where the club covers your hands and then goes back, and then you drop it down, I know you're pretty dang close to Money in the Bank. When that club, if I see a tour player, they're 9 out of 10 of those tour players, that thing's going to run right across that right forearm, mirror the right forearm right here through as you get waist high, and you're Money in the Bank. You start your pivot with your left hip. I teach, that's all I teach, but we got to keep that pivot moving. Looks like the camera's a little crooked. We got to keep that pivot. I want to make sure you see this. We got to keep that pivot. When you get right here, this is what we got to start doing. We got to maintain that side bend that you do so beautiful, but I got to be able to see this on that camera so we can control the club through the hip. But the greenskeeper just made dinner and burping, sorry. So I want to take that thing, I'm going to fire, and I'm going to see more like this, side bend, and if you can get that grip out over your left thigh and not have the shaft leaning, because the ball's on the ground, so that means you got to have a little descending blow like you do. I see your divot. It's beautiful. Really, truly, send me a putting video. But let me get over here and show you. I might hit the wrong button there. No, it's still recording good. If we can get that pivot continually turning, you got to work hard on firing that thing. You might for a little bit, Randy, look here, instead of getting right here and staying kind of matched up like this, this is matched up. Like if I had this, it's going to point at the ball or right of the ball a little bit. And if I had this right here, it's going to be pointing at the ball. Bad news. If I had a picture of Rory McIlroy, those hips are going to be way up in here, okay, through the hip. And we're going to have that shaft at a little forward lean like that right there. And then it's not going to go past your left arm. But when you get right here and that pivot shuts down, it's going to run past your left arm fast. There's nowhere for it to go, so you're either going to do this or you're going to chicken wing it, or it's going to whistle past your left arm. But if you got that pivot burning through the hip and like this right here, then you can go through it like Hogan. That's how Hogan did it. People try and keep the angle with their hands and arms. You can't do it because you're swinging it with so much pace. You build up centrifugal force, it's going to go down. But if this right here is your motor, then you can keep that thing pulling and pulling and pulling through the head. And pulling is good. You can pull a wagon, you can't push a wagon. So I want you pulling that wagon, burn that left hip through the head. Really, truly, I never repeated myself so much on a golf lesson. You have to trust me. And if we could work in person, then I could give you some other things to work in. But I'm absolutely robbing you, bud. I appreciate you sending in more than you're supposed to. And you got 2 more golf lessons coming somewhere. Give me a touch up down the road and let me help you some more, man. You're the best. Thanks.